Good afternoon. This is the Manhattan Community Board 11 Housing Committee. We will be calling this meeting to order. And it is 6:36. Thank you. And if Marlene, if you would give us the roll call, or do you want to do the rules first? The rules first. Okay. If I could just get a look at the new rules. There you go. Thank you. So we are in person and the rules are no one may speak until granted the floor. CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. And to raise your hand in Zoom, click the participant icon and you will find the raise hand function there. If you have technical difficulty, click the chat icon and relay your difficulty to the staff. Members should not engage in a back and forth discussion. This includes me. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. The chat should not be used for CB11 business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record when recognized. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic to the discussion, and members of the public, including Ms. Jackson. If you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. All right, so we did call the meeting to order to 36. And Marlene, if you feel like reading off our members.
Devon Crenshaw.
Present.
Angela Donadell.
Present.
John Green is excused. Annie Hansen is excused. Sharon Lynch.
Present.
Beverly McFarland.
Present.
Beverly Pavone.
Present.
Claudia Perez is excused. Cynthia Ramos. Dawn Sanders.
Present.
Hilda Vivas Vasquez. And Jason Wu.
Present.
No, Jason Wu, board members. We're calling the roll for board members right now, Mr. Minister. You have a quorum done.
Thank you so much. First, let's adopt the agenda, which was previously circulated, and I believe is at the front door. Everyone has a copy. If we are all in agreement to accept this board agenda, then I'm gonna just assume it's accepted unless I hear otherwise. Hearing no complaints, the agenda is adopted. Do we have a meeting minutes to go over or?
No, it's posted to the website.
Okay, so the meeting minutes from the, wait, did we have from the last meeting or the one before that?
From the last one, your last.
Okay, so our last.
Well, you didn't have forums. That's
Right.
what's posted.
Okay, so last meeting, we unfortunately did not have quorum, but there is documentation of that on the website. And if there's any disagreement with the meeting minutes that are on the website, please say something. Otherwise, okay, we're gonna keep it moving. We have announcements. I'm gonna see, Marlene, if you have extra, but before I have an announcement. I just want to thank our new board members and welcome you. We're so glad that you're here, and returning members, thank you for making quorum. So I just want to say thanks. And should I say that for the record?
Just for the record, you can read it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an announcement.
So we all are aware of Harlem African Burial Ground Memorial and Mixed Use Project. As many of you know, back in the day, we could not get any support for any of the African burial grounds. So this is a really big deal. Don't go to sleep on them yet. Keep an eye on these projects uptown and downtown. NYC EDC has released a request for proposals. Definitely keep an eye on the EDC. Okay, education and engagement services at 126th Street, Harlem, African Burial Ground, Mixed Use Project is seeking a team to complete education and engagement services regarding the history and cultural impact of the Harlem African burial ground question. So this comes with money? Let's see. Okay, the application deadline is October 4th, 2023. Is that tomorrow?
Mhm.
Oh, my.
No, this announcement was supposed to be given in September. but you-
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested, please, contact them right away. I don't know if they have any ability to give an extension, but I certainly think this is very, very important. So,
This is a link in your agenda, so you guys got it online, so you just hit the link if you want to
well,
read it.
raise your voices if you are interested or know somebody who is, who might miss the deadline. Thank you so much, Marlon. Is that it for announcements?
Well, if your committee has announcements, so we do have one announcement in the audience.
Announcement. Ms. Jackson, are you making the announcement? Thank you. Thanks for joining us. This is Emma. Tell everybody who you are.
Everybody, I think I know a few of you here already from way back then, but we don't wanna go way back. We wanna be in the crowd.
That's right.
Good evening, and my name is Emma Jackson. I'm a community person. I live in Taft Houses, and I also belong to the New York Legal Assistance Group, the Public Housing and Justice Project. We had to sue NYCHA to get a copy, a draft copy of the comprehensive list of laws governing tenants. And one of the things is that if NYCHA is planning to change all of the laws governing our occupancy in public housing. And we sued them, we got a FOIL, we got it. And so now what we have to do is we have a time when we can make comments about the proposal. And we got until the 28th of October, no, the 23rd of October, I'm sorry, to submit our comments. We short on time, so we couldn't go to individual developments and, do things like that. So we thought as a shortcut, what we do is come to our local elected officials and have a representative come to a meeting, short meeting that we're gonna have at the church on 116th and Madison. We haven't announced the date because we're still trying to secure all of our guests that are gonna be there. The meeting is gonna be very small, no more than 10 people, because we feel that at that, we can just do something. We can make a decision. One of the decisions that the group, the project has thought about doing is because we have such a limited time and people have to write comments, and it's a book. The draft is a book. This is it. And it's comprehensive. And we know that we're not gonna get everybody to read it. But we do want people to make comments about it if they think about it. So what we've done is we want to give the elected officials the opportunity to have a copy of it. And for all of those who are serving people in public housing, such as, whatever issues they have, they will have a copy of this because the rules are gonna change and be so dramatic. And they've been so ill explained and put on paper that even the lawyers, when they go to defend tenants who are being evicted, can't understand what's going on. And it's been really a hard thing. So we're trying to straighten that out, and the law group is very active. We don't have a lot of resources, as you guess, so we can't print this book for everybody. But what we will do at the meeting, we will give everybody the link that you can go online on NYCHA's website and get it and copy it. And then what we would do is we want to also create with the borough president's office some flyers to get to what they can distribute to all of the public housing tenant association. And because most of them now should have the free internet, they can go online and look at, there's about 11 chapters, I believe, in this book. There's probably about 11 chapters, no, 12, 13, hold on, and 13 chapters, 14 chapters, and an appendix and a glossary. So it's a big piece, but going through it, as you go through your website, you can see what you are interested in. And whatever you're interested in, you wanna, cite your voice, we'd be glad to hear you. And we're looking forward to getting people, even if you don't live in public housing. Public housing will be affecting everybody
Mhm.
here. In this community, because we have the largest amount of public housing in all of northern Manhattan. And we haven't been getting our fair share of monies, we haven't been getting our fair share of anything, so. We're hoping that when we get the tenant's voice and we can have some transparency here, we'll be able to navigate the system and do better in our advocacy for better housing and services for the community of public housing. So that's it. So we just need one volunteer who want to come to the meeting. We haven't announced the date of the meeting, but it probably will be one day next week.
Mhm.
We have already gotten the proclamation from the council, from the assemblyman, and we're here tonight to ask for your kindness to have somebody come to the meeting. I will call you and let you know when the meeting is, when the date of the meeting and the time. And whoever's gonna come, we'll be glad to have you. And the other thing is that we definitely will be reaching out to the various community tenant organizations. But we can't do it because with the time limits that we have and what we have to do, just getting people to know what this issue is about. So that's what we will be doing, and we'll just ask for someone to come and just be there to hear the lawyer and the reporter who did the story, because it's an interesting story and how we had to sue them for to get this. So we thank you, and if anybody choose to see me, speak with me, I think I left my number with the young lady here today. You can do that, and I'm available. Thank you.
Can I read the website for the record, or can I type it into or maybe you could circulate, then we
It's okay,
can.
I'll type it into the chat.
Okay.
But I have a question or a statement. So usually the chair of this board will speak to the committee members and the rest of the board to see if he can't go or send someone in his place. So the best way to do this is, Ms. Jackson, is to send your request to our general email box.
Okay.
And so it'll be in writing, exactly what he would be appearing, you know? Yeah.
Can I repeat?
Oh, yeah, do we take questions or we take comments? Okay.
That booklet has been given to all the resident meetings that we have been signed, we had to sign off. On the resident meetings, had to sign off to the package of the new, but
Oh, you just did.
yes, we did.
Okay, so that was one of the things that we thought we would do, we send it out,
Yeah,
but
the resident.
it was so much to copy and then it was just getting overwhelming.
So we did get it, but they, they didn't give us, we didn't know that someone foiled to get it and, work in collaboration with any agencies, because it is a lot of negative. It will impact our community negatively if these things are in place. And especially with the RAD and PAC conversion and the trust conversion, it's very important that residents know their rights. And if they are going into from section 9, which we are in now, to section 8, it is going to really negatively impact the community, not just because affordable housing is affordable to who's not low income. So we really have to pay attention to them. And I'm glad for Ms. Jackson that y'all guys did foil to do that, because it's really important. I mean, what's happening with public housing is really gonna affect us.
And I don't know if many of you know that Nige is planning these massive evictions
Yeah, they've already started it. seems
because
like.
of the not getting the emergency rental assistance money. And
They did get,
they
did get the ERAP.
yes, they did get it back.
But
We for residents concerned with
Yeah.
housing, committee went to Albany and did. They did get the money, they got 100.
And the mayor was supposed to put something in the budget and puts the money that he didn't. The money that he got from the governor.
The governor, they put it in,
Yeah,
but
the
they,
state, yeah.
but they have not,
They haven't released it all.
they
yet.
haven't released it all, and they haven't, identify how they're going to
Do the distribution.
the distribution aspect of it.
Yeah, because what happens is that for those persons, because this is what we've been doing with our justice community is that the lawyers be going into court trying to, work with these people to get, because NYCHA actually sent out to the tenants a request for a signature for them to pay the rent with the emergency rental assistance. Now what they're doing is management is calling people in and saying, you have to make a payment, repayment plan.
Oh, no, I mean,
No.
look, I'm
And
talking
so
over.
we've all gotten collected the papers that we signed with NYCHA when that was the proposal. And, it's been really difficult, but we stick at it, we're strong people, we're a small group of people, but we work hard at it. And so the justice, group for NYCHA is what we do.
But I heard, I heard that some more timid residents were already evicted, were pushed out. And their apartments were offered to others, so that was very concerning to me, and I'm wondering, Ms. Jackson, if your group can come back and give a presentation, and then maybe you guys, because I think we should get deep into this.
Right.
We're gonna have
Because we have-
one of the lawyers at the meeting that we're gonna have next week.
Would they be willing to come here too?
Well,
It's busy.
we're
Yeah.
gonna ask them, because like I said, we're the largest, of public housing in all of northern Manhattan. And we deserve this.
Yeah.
It's ours, and we should
Actually,
have it.
In New York,
East Harlem is not.
have the largest cat.
I think Lord.
Yeah, but the people,
No,
It's not,
oh,
actually, they're really close.
Okay,
no, because
Well-
never a lot of them was converted.
yeah.
And
Right,
right.
they've already got.
Yeah.
but per capita, I think we are the most per capita, like we are,
But,
right?
but we wanna also say that the residents, because public housing is doing almost the same thing, but we doing it in Portland and Washington, the same exact thing.
Would save section 9.
So, the redwood state section, I also.
Right, save section 9.
And
involved in
RPTA.
the
It's,
PHP.
yeah, right, it's just-
So what I wanna do is, get that phone number also, because I don't have you on my phone anymore, but.
What you, just the number she put an email to.
Yes, yeah, everything, just name, number. I left it at my desk, so I mean,
I
they
have
want
a
it now,
new
so,
Smart, I've been talking to you since I had a flip phone, so I
thank
don't,
you.
I don't have you in my
Thank you.
phone anymore. But if you would please talk to the lawyers and see if they would come here and do an in-depth presentation.
Well, once they see us showing up at the table next week
Yeah.
at that meeting, they will say, yes, we got people, we can work. Because that's one of the things, we haven't been getting participation. The
Yeah.
legal aspects of this has not been getting the tenants, because the tenants have been scared away. They don't know what's available to them, because this resource is available to them for free.
Yeah.
And they don't know it, and that's a shame. And I was so glad that I went into the counsel's office today, because I met the person over there, the lawyer over there, who has a legal clinic for NYCHA.
At Diana Ayala's
Mhm.
office, okay, good to
And well,
know.
we're new to that.
That's an announcement.
So we were
Yeah.
always in district, in the west side district, so now we're over here.
Oh, the redistricting.
Can you take one more question?
No, I just wanted to know, what was the name of the legal group you said that you're working with?
I'm gonna give it to you correctly, because sometimes I can't remember everything off the top of my head anymore. Okay, let's see. What did I remember? Oh, I dropped it all. Okay. Okay, that's. Okay, we're the New York, and I'm gonna try to give you their number. But I don't think I will.
Is it the New York Legal Assistance Group, New York LAG, NY LAG? Okay.
And we're the Public Housing Justice Project.
That's another group.
And we're part of that group.
Which group? Public Housing Justice?
No, we are the Public Housing Justice Group.
Committee.
It's a project that's part of the New York law of.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick time check. It is 6:55. I am very interested in what comes next. We need that date. So we will get folks out to you.
Get that.
Just wanna recognize Tamika Hello, welcome, thanks for coming. My hat size is 23. So if you- Oh, okay. So thank you so much, and I believe we have a presentation from a group. Am I moving too far?
Do you have any informational updates?
Oh, is there someone here at the Corporation for Supportive Housing?
No,
Here?
you guys received the revised agenda.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
It's okay.
but I'm looking over your shoulder.
That's okay, this is the revised one, right? That's.
Supportive housing is off. It came off yesterday. They had to cancel.
Okay, so we are gonna tell Lauren Velez to please, I feel like she came to our full board meeting. Yeah, right?
She
So,
canceled. She's gonna reschedule for November. She'll try.
okay, we will look forward to Lauren Velez.
She'll try.
I thought this was the person from New York Undercover. I got excited, but hopefully she will come back.
But you jumped the gun, Dawn. I'm sorry. Are there any informational updates?
Oh, I didn't have.
Okay,
Oh, I see now.
you
Okay.
could recognize her.
Hi, Debbie Fellow, board member. Informational, I wanted to let you guys know that today, by walking past the National Black Theater Project on Fifth Avenue, 126 and 127th Street, they had a top off ceremony today. I didn't know anything about it, and I told them, I'm like, oh, wow, you know, because we are part of Community Board 11, land use and housing, and we didn't get any feedback from you guys that you was gonna have this, but we would have sent a representative. I was on my way to another meeting, but I had to cancel it, because I thought it was important that I stayed there for that, event. A lot of people from the community, officials were there, Senator Claire was there, Keith White was there, Inez Perkins, Inez Dickens was there, of course, the family of Miss Dr. Barbara Ann Tier was there, there's, the people from the, what do you call it, the building team was there, and the people from the theater and arts community that's part of that was there. So it was a nice presentation, and everybody was giving out, you know, little speeches about Dr. Tier and what this project would mean to East Harlem and to the world. So I was glad I was able to get there. They had a little signing ceremony on one of the pillars that people signed off, so I said, thank you, Dr. Tier, Community Board 11. And I was like, and so they were, at first they weren't gonna let me in because I wasn't on the list. But when I told them who I was, and I'm like, you know, you shouldn't invite people from the community board who helps, you know, make this project happen. So they said they were sorry, and they will make sure that any future events that they will contact the community board to invite us, and especially to the ribbon cutting ceremony, which we should be a part of that because we do help with that. So it was very moving. It was very exciting to be there. Even the borough president was there also. So I'm glad I was walking past in that area, and I'm glad I was able to give a shout out for Community Board 11 and all that we do here, and to keep us in the loop for that project, which is like 200 and something units for artists. They're talking about the type of programs that they're gonna have there, entrepreneurship program, the stores that's what we get at the bottom, the classes, the theater. So it's very nice to have something there on that corner. I'm glad that Dr. His dream is coming to fruition for this community, and I told him that I'm really great level with this board. Something I didn't this one too. And that plan is
Thank you so much. Do you know when the next date is, or did you join the mailing list, or?
I didn't leave my name and number, but then I don't know what the time schedule and stuff like that, but I guess if we reach out to them and let them know. Let us really what 11, you know, housing and land use, or the whole community, you know, that's here, you know, because economics would be a part of that.
Yeah,
You know, so it would be nice that they invite community board members to any future events that they.
right. Ms. Jackson, had something on that?
I wanted to ask you, all of the art that was surrounding the outside, was that saved? Because that was one of the things that we had bought for them, asking, please save that art.
The one of that's one of the outside as they did, actually, I met Mr. Novi, she's the artist. She did the murals like 500 feet, it goes around that whole thing. I believe they did say that, and I left the book home, but they did have, it was little package to go home. Book one of the inside stuff is gonna be like, you know, so even, I had a tenant meeting, prior to coming here, and I would tell them, but they didn't know, we live like right down the block from them.
Wow.
So I was hoping that they, you know, really look to let the community board know, so we can let the community know about these events, and they had news, and she was there, and
What?
yeah, that's what happened.
Pay for this, is this like a private?
I don't know, like I said, all the, a lot of elected officials were there. And I was just walking past trying to go to another.
I love it.
And I was like, it's the meeting. I'm going,
Yeah.
you know, so they was getting a little pushback, but I'm like, listen.
All right,
The land use and housing, which I'm on the committee.
yeah,
If we knew about this, we would be there. We should
Absolutely.
know about that, but then with all the other programs that they have with the economic, big aspect of that, that will be to this, you know, the whole community board should be on their mailing list for any future events, and they did apologize very much so about it, so I'm hoping that they.
can you bring those materials to the next meeting perhaps?
I definitely do.
These are eyes.
Yeah, it's really.
Thank you.
Even the tenants in my building, like, that's what we not.
Is there,
Yeah, we need to know about these things. We need to be the last ones to know about this with the past, because then I'll put it.
your hands are good. Clear.
Yes, oh, yeah, they,
We worked here, I've been getting.
Yeah.
Original them.
yeah, so our family was very shocked to have everybody and to see it and to see them speak on it. There was quite a few people taking pictures. I don't know what entity it was coming from, but I'm hoping that someone will put it on New York One or whatever, because it was very moving, very short talk. I got to maybe about 3, like 3.
And how do you spell Dr. Tier?
Teer, Barbara and Tia. Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
I'm gonna do a time check, cause I was already told. I put my real glasses on so I can read it.
That's the new.
Are there any additional informational updates? Okay, thank you. Seeing none, we're gonna go on to see if the veterans residence is here. Are you here?
Yes.
Wonderful, and I want to thank you so much for, I think you're on 119th Street?
Yes.
Okay, great. And how long have you been there? I just want to,
Well, at East 119th, I've been there since April of 2022, but I've been with the agency Volunteers of America coming up on 10 years.
okay, so we've done some work with the veterans residents, and it looks like you're gonna give us some more information, so we're looking forward to that.
Yes.
You could go ahead, sir.
Well, first off, thank you. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you, Community Board 11, for giving me an opportunity to present and introduce myself to you guys. I really appreciate it. Once again, my name is Jason Winke. I'm the program director at East 119th, the veterans residence. And like I said, I've been with the agency coming up on 10 years. It's interesting, when I first started with the agency back in 2013, that's where I started. I started at East 119th as a case manager. So over the last 10 years, I've been able to grow within the agency, to go from case manager to housing specialist to associate program director, and now I'm the program director. So it's kind of like full circle for me. But to give you a little bit more information on the veterans residence, it used to be, we used to accept all veterans. Now, over the last couple of years, because we haven't had as many veteran referrals, we do take non-veterans now. The building is currently owned by DHS, Department of Homeless Services, and we have 174 units and we basically provide low-income housing to individuals that used to be homeless. We have a unique population. We have individuals that deal with mental health issues, substance abuse issues, medical issues, HIV/AIDS. Basically it's an SRO, single room occupancy, which means that they have a single unit and then they share the communal areas, right? They share the bathroom, the kitchen, the lounges. And we also have a nice courtyard out in the backyard. We have a basketball court. And the services that we provide are, we have a social service team that meets with the clients on a biweekly basis. They meet with them, they develop a service plan to address certain goals that the tenant might have. And on a biweekly basis, they meet with them to ensure that they maintain their independence and attain their goals. All right. We also provide a lot of different activities at the program. We have a movie night that takes place on Thursdays. We also have different activities that we bring to the program. Recently, we had a collaboration with Chase Bank where we did a financial literacy course for three weeks. So that took place. We also, the VOA was able to, Volunteers of America was able to get a grant and basically provide music therapy to the program. That lasted for about 8 weeks, which the tenants really appreciated. In addition to that, we also try to have holiday events for the tenants, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Veterans Day, 4th of July. We've also basically gotten contacted by outside agencies like Columbia University. We've been able to get college football and basketball tickets from them. So we've shared that with the tenants, and they've been very receptive to that. We've also collaborated with other partners of Volunteers of America, like Cavu Securities, who recently sponsored a meal/game day that took place a couple of months ago. And it was a good success. So now they would like to come back, and in November they're going to do a flag rededication to the veterans in November. So yeah, we try to bring different things to the program. We try to assist them with whatever needs they may have to maintain their independence. And yeah, that's basically what we do at our program. And moving forward in the future, like I mentioned before, DHS owns the building, but Volunteers of America is planning on purchasing the building within the next year. And when that happens, they're going to do a brand new renovation. Like I said, we have a nice property out there. We have like a basketball court that they're going to turn that basketball court into 2 properties. And then all the tenants that's in the current property will get a chance to transition to the new property, and then they'll renovate the current property. So now, and hopefully within the next handful of years, we'll have 3 new properties at East 119th. So that's just a little insight to the program. And once again, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to present and introduce myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Winky. I have a question, but I want to first open it to the board and see if anyone on the board has questions. Say your name.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, thanks for the presentation. My name is Devin, CB11 committee member.
How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Question. So you started your presentation by mentioning that, if I heard you correctly, that the referrals for veteran occupants, residents,
Yes.
maybe was not working as planned, and there was a shift in how you were or who you were offering occupancy to. So can you just take me through? Can you take us through that proposal, and then as a part 2 to that, I wonder about this future development that you'll have planned, Volunteers of America, and who that project would be targeted to in terms of tenancy.
Got you. Yes. So yes, all the referrals that we get, and I missed that part during the presentation. So the referral process goes through, well, when it was all veterans, man, the referral process will go through the VA. That's where we would get our referrals from. But we also work with DHS, and we get our referrals from DHS. So when we have a vacancy, we'll reach out to DHS. they'll be in communication with the different shelters, and then they'll get the housing packages, send it over to us in a manifest, and then we'll conduct interviews. So for every unit that we have, we'll interview 3 candidates. So that's the process in regards to now. Again, at one point, this was what was brought to me. At one point, the referrals stopped coming. We was reaching out to the VA. We wasn't getting any referrals for the VA, and that's the reason why they opened it up and started taking on non-veterans. And when we started taking non-vets, that's when we was getting the referrals from DHS, Department of Homeless Services. All right, and yeah.
Sorry, and then just the second part of my question too, and I know it's very early days, but just wondering if there's been any conversations around what type of residents or tenants that this new development might be targeted towards.
Well, the same as the current, right? Veterans, non-vets, individuals that were formerly homeless, mental health issues, substance abuse issues. I think that would be the same demographic, the same population.
Thank you.
Ms.
No
Beverly.
problem.
Oh, can we have our new member first and then you? Okay, go ahead. Okay. I want everybody to get a chance. Go
Because
ahead.
the air is on the
Yeah,
back.
my name is Beverly McFarland. I was wondering, when you said you start the project with, that this was really catered to veterans. I think it's still a missed opportunity with so many veterans that's out here that are still homeless. That is unfortunate that y'all are not keeping it veteran only. That y'all changing it, the dynamics of this project, when right around the corner here, we have veterans homeless shelters. That I know friends of mine that have been in here 10 years.
Yeah.
So they will really be, beneficiary to a project like this to have, be in, a room or occupancy. So to me, I'm against it being other than for veterans, because that's what y'all originally had it built for, or this project was introduced as, or y'all represented it as, and to change it and to make it something other than, I think, is a disservice to our community. So that's just my take.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Right.
I have a question.
Well, I mean, the population is still, the building is still majority veterans. It's still 95% veterans. It just seems at that certain moment when we wasn't getting no referrals and we had a lot of vacancies, they opened it up to bring in, non-vets. But it's still the majority of the building, 95% of the building is still vets. And moving forward, we will continue to accept veterans. It's not that we're going to discontinue bringing in vets. It's just that at that moment when we was not getting any referrals and we had so many vacancies, that's when they opened it up and started to bring in non-vets.
And what is the subsidy program that's attached to this resident?
NYCHA, well, with the vets, it was NYCHA. Now we have city FEPS. We have city FEPS.
So, Mr. Winky, thank you so much. I'm gonna see if we have time for more questions, but I don't know if your organization is local, but our community has had some bad luck in terms of supportive housing that are not good neighbors. I actually had some complaints from some of the commercial businesses around there, and I'm always a staunch defender, like, no, the veteran residence is a good neighbor. And so I would urge you to please, because if you're only doing the bi-weekly services, I would urge you to please have someone walk around to the neighboring businesses and make sure that some of your clients are not loitering at those businesses. Because I know of another group that has a supportive housing on 122nd and 2nd, and they have a person who has a job to go and make sure that their clients are not in the neighboring businesses, schoolyards, and everything else. So I just want you to know that we're gonna hope that you come back to us with some more evidence that you're gonna be, that you are and are continue to be good neighbors, because for many years, we taken food and all kinds of things to the veterans there. And I think like Ms. McFarland said, the veterans also need a place to be that's peaceful and not wrapped up in all the problems of other people's mental illness and drugs. Like, I thought that was supposed to be sort of a safe, like, you know, a place of solace for them. So I'm glad that Devin asked the question and that Ms. McFarland asked the follow-up, but I think you're gonna definitely want to come back and tell us about your 5%, how you plan to make sure that they are good neighbors to us, because we're a little oversaturated with people who are not getting enough services. I'll just put it right there. I will lay it right there.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, we counted on you to make sure that everybody who's there has enough to do during the day and people to talk to, and then they're not coming to the local pharmacy and other businesses and trying to make friends there, because that's harmful to the businesses that are trying to survive on Madison Avenue. That's all I was gonna say. But is there anybody else, any other questions or comments?
Actually, I could piggyback. I was just questioning what type of supports they have for the substance use. Is it a harm reduction or abstinence model? And what that looks like, and then for the mental health, we all know that veterans come back with a lot, you know, like post-traumatic stress, depression, anxiety, and it shows up when triggered in the community. And so I would love to hear who you're partnering with, other than the VA. No offense to the VA, right? But we know that some of the services for the VA have not been up to par for what those persons have gone out and done. So if you can share that with me, or who you partner with, or who you contract with to bring that in. Right, services to be brought in, that might be able to help contain some of the traffic that the community has been experiencing in a negative way.
Sure. And I'm sorry, because we just had this September, we just had Recovery Month, and we just had an event, and I'm sorry, it escapes me right now, but we did have an organization come in this past Wednesday and did a presentation on Narcan and harm reduction. So that just took place. We also partnered with Sun River. We've had health fairs with Sun River Clinic. Obviously we have the clinic that's right up the block from us on 119th. So we use those as resources to assist the tenants in regards to mental health and substance abuse issues.
I'm sorry, are you able to share statistics of who participates versus who is not, and what that looks like, that outcome looks like?
Well, it's challenging. It's challenging, man. Like, you know, because the reality of the situation is we do have tenants that engage in substance abuse, right? You know, and sometimes we have to meet the client where they at, right? So we can sit there and have the conversation with the client. We can meet with them and try to encourage them, you know, to partake in these services. But if the client is in denial, it becomes very challenging. Right, we can't force anybody to get any services. So the only thing that we can do is continue to have the conversation with them, right?
Like if there are behavioral issues that spill out into the community, are there consequences?
Yes, well, there are consequences. First, we have to document. That's number one. We have to create the paper trail. And if it becomes violent behavior, then obviously we'll contact the police, document that, and then if we have enough documentation, then we can take it to our legal team to push for an eviction. We can start something called a nuisance holdover, right? If we have enough incidents that take place and paperwork that we can take to our legal team, and then they'll push for an eviction.
Thank you.
It might be helpful if we kept stats on that and run that back, so that we, as the board, can look at who is coming, who can stay, and when there's problems, who are evicted, so that the community can still live in peace.
Right. Well, it's very challenging. I'll be honest with you and be completely transparent. You know, it's difficult to evict somebody as well, because the reality of the situation is, we don't want to, they don't want to put people on the street now, you know, so I've witnessed certain situations that went on for years, you know, before somebody actually got evicted, right? You know, once you get to the court system, then they'll probably get APS involved, because we deal with, for the most part, when we go to court, is normally sometimes with people with rental arrears. And even with that, you get to court, man, they'll get APS involved. They'll, you know, pay off the arrears, and then the tenant will be squared away. When it comes to nuisance holdover, because we had a tenant that he was violent, and we had a lot of evidence, and had a lot of incidents and a lot of paperwork, and we took them to legal, but they gave him chances. Right? The last chance they gave him, they had him sign a 2-year stipulation, right? And if he violated the 2-year stipulation, then they will take him back to court and push for the eviction. You know, now this has been going on for 4 or 5 years, man. So it takes, and then the pandemic has something to do with that as well. Right, man. When the pandemic happened, a lot of the courts was closed down. But yeah, it becomes very challenging at times to even get somebody evicted.
Sounds like your interview process and your selection process. Cause once they're in, right?
Right.
So it sounds like where it would be helpful for the community is that your interview process is a little tight, so that people who are here, we know are not going to spill over and make drama or problems, because we can't get them out. Once you're here, you're here.
Yeah.
Right.
Mr. Winky, I'm just gonna pause and do a time check, and I think we have one more question from Ms. Pavone and one from Ms. Matt. Okay.
Yes, hi, Jason, and thank you for the presentation, Beverly Pavone, our community board member. My question.
How you doing?
Fine, sweetheart, thank you. Is this facility only for male adults?
Yes, for adults, yes.
Male, only
Male and female.
Oh, okay, and what would be your, percentage of male and female? And would you say, can you give us a little idea as to if you having issues with people, is it mostly male or mostly female, or it's like people and that?
It's predominantly male. I would say 90 to 95% men. And most of the issues, obviously, with that percentage comes from the men, for the most part.
Is there an age group that you take people in?
No, we take people from all 20s all the way up to 60s, 70s.
Thank you so very much.
Yes.
Matt?
Thank you so much, Chair. My question to you, Jason, is what attempt do you try to do to make sure that East Harlem residents be able to get into the program before you go out to outside agencies? I know you partner with DHS, but do you like specifically say how many East Harlem residents is on this list? Because some of our members cannot get into SRO, there's a long waiting list. So I'm wondering how is your process is going to be to make sure East Harlem residents are first?
Well, because, like I said, because DHS, Department of Homeless Services, actually owns the building, all the referrals has to go through the Department of Homeless Services. So we have to, whenever we have a vacancy, we must go through the Department of Homeless Services, and they're the ones that send us over the referrals.
How about when you buy the building?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then it'll be different. It will be, I believe it will be definitely different, you know. But as of right now, since DHS owns the building, that's the process when it comes to getting referrals.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Please let your board members know. We're extremely interested to know how your vetting process works, and you know what population you're bringing into the community, especially if they're not residents. So I'm gonna say if we have more questions, maybe we can have another visit by Mr. Winky. Right, so we thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being in our community, and hopefully you're open to coming back with more answers, or giving even a small presentation or something like that about how you operate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And moving right along, ooh, we're at 7:25. Let's see. I can stay here all night, but if I don't do a good job, they might not let me do it again. So we're gonna actually have a brief discussion about the district needs and budget priorities for fiscal year 25. The purpose of this, Marlene, do you want to tell the purpose? Because we have new members. And I don't want to be jaded, but
No, it's fine. Don't be jaded. Leave the bias out. Let's say what has to be done.
So basically, we do have, the community board has the opportunity to provide 40 capital and 25 expense projects that address the needs of our community. So we do surveys every year, and we the community is counting on us to not just represent us, but like other people around us, right? So each year we come up with suggestions, and the agencies tell us no, yes, maybe. And some of these suggestions we've made have been on here 5-10 years. They've been on here since I was calling Miss Jackson on the flip phone. So, but we do keep a number of these on here year after year. And so I saw a few things missing from last year, but if we could run through we have 8 items. We're gonna see if we want to keep them. And then again, if you have new items, like a really interesting one came up in public safety that I had never thought of in all these 25 years. So if you have new items, don't be shy to say what they are. Arlene has the technical con, so
Capital and what was the other?
we have 2 capital items and we have 6 expense items. But over the entire board, over all the committees, we have 40 capital items and 25 expense. Every month there is a district needs and budget meeting. Everybody is welcome to come to that, right?
Yes.
That's open to
It's
the
a
public.
meeting.
So you should definitely be vociferous. I think some of the biggest wins we've had over the years are like the lighting in Marcus Garvey Park, I feel like came out of one of our committees. There's a number of programs that we push for that were actually implemented. So I think there is a lot of power in this process, but we really got to push, and we really have to make sure the agencies are taking us seriously. Thank you so much, Marlene. So we'll just go.
Sorry, Dawn.
Go ahead.
So you are in the city's budget cycle for new members. This is called a preliminary budget. So as a board, you all are tasked with giving requests or don't, right? So no one is gonna put you over their knee for this. But if you're saying you're a representative body of the district, you should give requests on behalf of the district to different agencies. So housing has NYCHA, HPD, DOB, those are the agencies that you would send your requests to from the housing committee. And each committee, except licenses, does not engage in this exercise, except license and permits. But each committee of this board engages in this process to submit budget requests. And sometimes what comes out of this meeting in October are statements. And so that will go on the statement of district needs, not this request. So sometimes you're like, oh, I think that veterans are an underserved population. That goes into a long paragraph of the why. That's not a request. Right now, you are asking for things to be funded, money for a certain thing, not a long statement. That happens a lot, and I'm saying that for a reason, because I know you all are very impassioned about the community, but you have to stick to the task at hand. And so October 31st, Halloween, these budget requests must be submitted to the Office of Management and Budget and the Department of City Planning. And then after that, they're going to go into the executive piece of this budget and then send you back their responses, and you can comment. This board usually doesn't comment. And at the end, the agencies will send back what was funded and what wasn't funded. And sometimes it says more information is needed or funded in part. That happens a lot, right? So this is the first phase of the budget, it's the preliminary budget. So I'm gonna filter this so you only see housing stuff. think I'm on that in there.
Or while you're doing it, we make noise.
They didn't want somebody to
Opening the
take one
door.
cookie out. It would take you an hour to get them.
Was it the bomb?
I think the cookie was saying to leave me alone, but then we don't really need to get them.
I still have points left. I have plenty of points. There we go.
So the first, and how community board does this is every year you guys will get this, it was emailed to all of you. You guys, and you also have access to it on the board members drive. And you'll get this worksheet, spreadsheet every single year. Showing you how, what you said last year, this tracking code will change. Once it's given to us from DCP and OMB, but that's fiscal year 24 tracking code. So out of this committee, I think this was you, Beverly, when you first came, these two capital requests. They're still standing there, so. We can go over it line by line. Who wants to read this?
Well,
'Cause I'm
so
moving.
can everyone see this, or do I have to
You
read
need
it
it
for the
to
record?
be increased,
No, I'm just wondering if I have to read it for the record.
you can read it.
Okay,
let
so
me-
the request is to expand loan programs to rehabilitate multiple dwelling buildings. The agency is HPD. The staff recommends we keep this request. Ms. Beverly, you had, is this about? Who was it?
That's not that we not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm not
Beverly
calling
number
you
two.
Miss Beverly, yeah.
Starts and see this. Okay, I'm gonna
So
keep
who-
this like this.
So who originally, you're saying one of our members originally proposed this?
Yeah, but as a collective, as a committee, you all agreed, well, it wasn't this specific committee sitting here. But the committee agreed, so it's like one person's voice on a committee doesn't stand for the entire body. So you all have to agree, so after this exercise, you do have to take a motion to agree on what you're doing right now,
Today.
yes.
Okay, so the staff recommended we keep this, and I feel like we could keep this for now. I don't see any reason to remove it from it.
I don't know what it is.
I don't either, that's why I was.
What does
trying to
that
figure
mean? What buildings are you talking about?
It's not.
Do you wanna revise?
23 or 24.
If 23, if you could
20.
give us like an idea of
Yes,
why that
23.
was, why we,
23. I don't believe I was part of that one.
okay,
Mine was, for the.
for 24, Till, so I'm on board with Till, but. Does anybody have any details about 23? Because I feel like this sounds familiar, but I feel like there was a purpose to this.
If I remember, last week,
Oh, please.
I think they, the housing preservations and, multifamily housing loans weren't, they needed more money in order to preserve houses that was here, because I believe we were speaking about how, certain buildings were being, more especially rent control buildings, that we lost like that. So they just want to have another, expansion of opportunities for homeowners to have money to fix up their home.
Yes,
Okay,
I believe that.
and I remember a story with the lady who lost her home because she couldn't fix it up. So they took her home, she had a brownstone, they took her brownstone. So,
Who's they?
I had to find the article. You don't know what I'm saying, right?
So, I'm sorry,
Okay.
so you see where in the adopted budget section right here, where it says FY 2024 adopted budget? They're going to accommodate this, but you could still keep it on, meaning funding, they're funding it. Which you can keep it on. Where it says the agency will try to accommodate this issue within existing resources, that's not a no.
It's not a yes. I don't
So,
trust HPD, but I mean, I'm fine to keep it. Anybody want to take that out?
yeah, I'm trying to still understand
Yeah.
if what you said is true. It's for homeowners. So how is that expanding? And preserving additional floor of housing units? It gets some individuals maybe they're renting to a person in that place. But how is that preserving and creating additional affordable housing units?
So this is,
It's not a
okay,
multi,
so here's the exercise. So I hear your question, Angela,
yes,
but in advance of this meeting, you see where it's coming from, it's a program. So
Okay.
research has to be done on the program.
again, I explained to you where I've been, but,
No,
okay,
no,
so
I
I did
understand,
not understand.
but
but I
that would
did
answer
see
your
this.
question.
Okay, so we don't have to vote on this until I have the time to read it?
No, it has to be a majority vote, but if you choose to abstain, you could do that,
Okay,
yeah,
Now, we
Okay.
have to Halloween to vote on this, or we have to vote on it today?
right now,
All right.
on all of them. all
Okay,
eight.
so, we are all for Till, we don't even need to know why, you wanna skip number 25?
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't want Till, meet me outside.
I remember that, even though I wasn't on the
Yeah,
committee, I know what that.
No, but if we have to. Can I speak regarding to the Till program? No, well, can we come back to that? Cause I don't think anybody disagrees, and I wanna run through and then come back. Okay. What do you have for 25?
That's it, you're in capital right now, so there were
Okay.
only two capital budget
So
requests
let's
that
look
came
at
out
those
of this
other
committee.
6, just so that.
So those were the only two, just to clarify that we have agreed.
That came out of
two.
capital,
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Can we make suggestions or how would we do that?
Well,
yeah,
my suggestion is let's run through the ones that are here already, and then let's circle back.
Okay.
Okay, so we have.
I'm gonna
6
filter
more,
this for
right?
your committee, okay?
thank you. Okay.
Okay, so here's your first one highlighted.
So, I'm just looking at this, so the rental subsidies, provide rental subsidies. I think some of this looks familiar from last year. However, the expand code enforcement, I see the staff recommends to remove that. Do you have any, Marlene, you have any?
It was funded, that's why.
Okay. All right, and I'm of the belief that if something's funded, you still leave it so it doesn't get defunded the next year.
You, that is you can do that,
Okay.
you don't have to, it's just a suggestion from the staff.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Not the act,
Okay, so starting with the first one, provider enhanced rental subsidies. Increase funding for subsidies that help eligible low income families. I think we also added it last year, and seniors to rent decent, safe and affordable housing. So I don't know what happened between last year.
Do you want to add that? You want to revise
I
it?
vote to add seniors
No problem.
because
Can we also add disabled individuals?
Correct.
I agree. I have people coming up to me about Timbale and why do we not like seniors? And I feel like we made a stand last year about seniors and it's not in this year, so.
So you will copy and paste that and put it on.
And it just seems like to me, if you're saying low income families and saying affordable housing, it's kind of oxymoron to me because affordable is not always.
Yeah, like what percent of the AMI are we talking
Correct,
about?
so we should
Right,
be
that's what we have to know.
identifying 30% AMI if you're gonna say affordable.
Affordable, 10% of AMI,
Right.
That's
Well, it should
really
be
20.
Okay, so we're revising this now. I need exact language, so. Increase funding for subsidies that help eligible low income families. Where are you putting this revision?
Low income families, comma, seniors, comma, disabled individuals. Seniors now, really be very-
Seniors and disabled. Is that a common?
Let me write it out and see what census looks like.
HP, they could figure that out.
Okay.
Can I, I'll send you the little hand sanitizer.
Yeah, just throw a cookie on my 39. And this-
So how does that look? Is that what
Yes.
you all are intending to say?
Yes.
It looks good to me, but I don't wanna speak for anybody else.
Your hands, you clean them, just
I just
throw
did.
a cookie on it.
And we wanted to
Thank
identify the percentage when we say affordable. Because
Deeply affordable.
Deeply affordable, much indicated because.
Where?
AMI, 50% AMI is not conducive for the community.
It should be community-based AM.
Correct. But you really can't say that either, because the community's changing. So we got $1 million homes. So
I'm not, and
it's just.
I 100% agree. Is this the place to put that in as an expense budget request?
It's not,
Well,
go ahead, finish your thought, Devin.
No, I 100% agree with what is being said. I think there's a place for that. I don't know if this is the place. So
Mhm. So hold on to that because it may be reflected in another request.
Okay.
Hold, Beverly,
Mhm.
hold on to that, and Devin, hold on to the counter to Beverly's point in your brain. Okay, but as it is right now, are you guys satisfied with this revision? Okay,
what did HPD say last year? They said, did they say anything last year?
and in the adopted.
Sufficient- It says
version?
they need sufficient federal and state funds, okay.
Okay, hold on, so we said keep, you guys revise it. I should have had you rank the other ones, we'll go back. What's the ranking for this? High, medium, low?
I don't have one yet, cause I unfortunately, I didn't get to study these other ones. But I'm open to anybody from the committee who has memorized all these and knows which
maybe
one.
go through them all and then rank them last.
That'd be good.
Mm. Okay,
Expand programs for housing.
that's like going backwards, but okay, no,
I
listen.
mean, this is important, but if we only have one night only, we gotta, so expand programs for housing inspections to correct code violations. Is this only for? This is only for HPD
Let me see what was
section
funded.
8 or?
Because in your drive,
Till,
there's an HPD response on your board member drive. So I pulled this document from your drive and they've funded,
this is the one you told me about?
yeah, they funded the anti-harassment unit that's funded. And so that's in this thing. And number 2, the partners in preservation, that's funded. So everything else is
This
not.
is only for housing subject to HPD's, regulatory agreements. or-
Increase funding for special items for performance such as, you could take out. It's just a suggestion.
$1 fund.
You see, the staff's recommendation was confirmed part that was funded, which I just did. They may need to split it, so you could revise this again. I'm not telling you guys what to do, I'm asking.
Can we keep it for now? Is there a reason we have to?
You wanna
revise
keep it as is? That's fine.
They can make the same, they can say the same thing they said before.
Does the committee
But if
agree?
they're saying it was already funded, why would we take out the language that was already funded?
Dawn's
I was,
mindset is,
I was worried because I noticed that year after year, I wasn't seeing the stuff we asked for.
Oh.
So I did ask that we keep something so that we know what we did last year. And then the next year, if they try to slip up on us and not have the program at all, we could be like, well, we want to continue this going forward. So I don't think we lose one. But I like to keep some continuity so that we know where we stand with them. Like,
I changed from somewhere else, so we, this way we remember what we.
I mean, it looks different. I mean, after we agree on it, it looks different to me after we're done. So I don't like to take anything out because then I'm wondering, didn't we have this conversation? So, but can we add another one to Ms. McFarland's point? We can add another one, right?
yeah, we'll do that at the bottom.
Okay,
Mhm.
so
Are you guys keeping this one though?
So.
You have a
I would
question?
say to keep, because someone from this group pushed for this, and I feel like Okay.
So what's the difference from 13
Mhm.
to 14? To provide more funding for the tenant advocates, tenants harassment unit? Isn't that the same thing being referred to in 13?
Wait,
Well, that
you're
looks like
speaking
two.
at tracking code 60 and 670?
Yeah, well, see, 13 and 14 is the numbers I can tell what they
The
are.
line, she's looking like the line.
On the, yeah, because you just said they did the anti-harassment, we don't wanna take it out. But isn't that the anti-harassment stuff, the next thing?
Was a different agency, so they have two different.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, isn't,
Oh,
oh, I
it's
see
an
it
excellent
now.
question, because
I'm not reading the
Yeah.
spread, what's the spread?
I just want a definitive answer. I'm not pushing you guys or making you guys move fast. What are we doing with 13? Are we keeping it? We're just putting keep?
I say keep for now,
Okay.
we can make it a lower priority, but
And
I,
Beverly wants to add, you want to add in a new request. We could do that at the end.
okay, so expand code enforcement, I'm gonna say that we keep it even though it's funded for the reasons I explained before.
Right,
Department of Buildings has done a very poor job at a lot of their, well, I'm not gonna say, some of their inspections and things, they've had some issues. So even though they say they're gonna try to pay for it, I feel it would be a disservice to remove it before making sure that it's a good program,
Mhm.
sufficient program. Other public housing maintenance, staffing and management requests, I would say yes. Why do we want to revise it?
So staff.
Why
wants to
are
work.
we?
It says the staff wants us to revise.
Are they requesting additional?
Looks like additional staffing and language assistance to help with recertifications, annual recertifications and maintenance requests.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
it's
that be the city job to do that? I mean, as far as, staffing. Why, we being asked to staff night shift? You know, I don't understand that.
And they also say
Because
maintenance.
these are city positions, most of these positions are from DCAT positions. And that's where they get the, out of our hiring pool, most people went and took, tested to get these, positions. I worked for the city 38 years. So I'm not understanding why they're asking the community board for additional staffing to do work that their staff should be doing anyway.
well, the community, it's the other way. So the community board is asking NYCHA to go to DCAS to put more staff.
Okay, so, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
and it has to go to
Alright,
NYCHA
so
because that's where those
so that-
employees would go.
Okay, so that makes.
Yeah, but
okay,
the revision from the staff is what you read here. But it doesn't, you guys could leave it at it as is if you want.
I think they need more service vans, equipment, because when it's inclement weather and whatnot, like. Just when I was doing the Hurricane Sandy stuff. You need a van, like, people don't wanna, maybe they don't wanna go to their property manager, they wanna go, sort of. Close by and do it, I feel like the service vans, they should be getting more, I don't
believe so,
wanna.
and not only
yeah.
that, in the property offices, most of the kiosk machines are not working.
Yeah.
And then for the
I've heard
seniors
that.
standing at the kiosk machines are very inconvenient for them. And then the staff members do not want to help the tenants with that,
I
so
heard
that's
it's-
what I had the Harlem Justice Center every month coming into my office to the resident association office helping with, for the backlog in my development. So that is crucial as far as I'm concerned.
Can we keep it how it, oh,
Yeah.
In regards to NYCHA, how do the NYCHA residents get their invoices from where? It still comes through the mail to them?
Yeah.
Okay, is it possible we can ask that, since a lot of people don't deal with technology the way, most of the people do now? If within them send out the invoices, they also send out maintenance reports or maintenance request forms with that. Because I think if they see those, they can probably read it better, put what they need to put on there and send it back in.
That's a good idea, and also the application process, what's happening. The recertification process is very difficult for my senior, a lot of my
Right.
really regular folks,
Right,
because a lot of people are not computer savvy.
exactly,
And they're not getting that done, so they have to go to outside entities
right,
to get their recertification done, or they be and
No,
you know,
did I sign?
they get written from the management or something.
I need water. Can I take it?
exactly.
So we really need some kind of language where they still adapt the paper certifications for.
Right, right,
What's they making it obsolete
right.
on right now.
So I think we should keep this, because I think even people who are computer savvy, when I was at the assembly member's office, even the computer savvy people would come and sit
Yeah.
and they would dictate what they want on their applications. So I think they need to have more staff, more vans and more equipment.
And also just take the recertification online, it should be and is
And by then,
by mail, as opposed to this online, it should.
You wanna do paper
It should be
application?
option, right, it should be optional.
it should be.
To do paper.
Right.
But didn't the HRA switch away? Now they don't HRA doesn't take paper now? Or they
Well,
do?
I don't know HRA, I know NYCHA recertification is strictly online, and then they give you a password, most people throw it away.
Oh.
Sort of like.
So I thought people successfully sued HRA though about this whole thing about whether you have to do.
Thing online.
I don't know, you have to request it, like you have to call the NYCHA, the 707 number now in order to get a paper.
Oh, and
And the most seniors don't know that unless.
so can't they walk into the property manager's office and get a paper? Oh, that's not nice. Okay.
So would it be something where, most of the time, I should know the age of all the residents, especially Senator President, that it's automatically that if you 62 and over, you get a paper.
Oh,
A lot of people,
no.
I don't think that should be, because.
My grandma has an iPhone.
Because some people, that's insulting to assume that they can. And then you have, you disengage people that's younger.
So I think
For whatever reason, they may not be technically savvy either.
Can I? No, please.
No, you could be in your thirties and not be
Absolutely.
technically savvy, and then let's talk about our people with disabilities again.
correct.
Who may not culturally and don't know how the technology will
Correct.
set them off
Correct.
trying to do their paperwork.
So to change the, do we add in that, is there any language we can use to add in that?
It should
The
be
option
It should,
of paper.
It does say online and paper.
notification Is implemented into the process of being certified or doing maintenance.
I think we should make that a separate ask. And I'll tell you why, because, and I don't know how this worked, because when I was working with NYCHA, it was like the whole of NYCHA, but there were supposed to be an additional 20,000 iPads approved for seniors with training. And the mayor's office promised that. So I feel like instead of going back and being like paper, give us the extra 20,000 iPads and train people to use them. If they want to use them, fine. If they don't. But during the pandemic, they said a lot of seniors were lonely, and the iPad was a lifeline.
But to your point, they did give them iPad, and like to try to take them away. now
No,
And
stop.
try to charge them $10. It was a big thing, and a lot of us.
But the mayor's
advocated,
office paid for that, didn't they?
And they told them that they told our seniors that they had to bring them back.
That's.
Or else they're gonna start taking it off their rent or something,
No,
whatever they say.
oh my God.
So we advocated and we got them to reverse and they, kept their.
Oh, I'm so glad you did that.
So we were, I wasn't,
These people are
just, it wasn't just me, it was the host, committee of that court,
Well, I commit to do more research on this and bring it back as something separate for us to push for, because I think we should push
So we live in Southern and so forth.
I put, while you
What
guys
did you
were
add?
discussing, I didn't put anything, I didn't add anything. I said keep, because that's what she originally said. And I said the committee will keep the budget request without revisions from the staff. Because you're keeping it at as is, right?
That mentions online and paper for the annual.
Right. it's
Yeah.
papers, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So, the DRE and SPRE, that one I was a little confused. Will provide funding to increase awareness regarding housing vouchers and other HP programs such as DRE and SPRE. And they're saying they will do it. But what does that mean to us? Do anybody remember proposing this? Cause I feel like everybody knows about SPRE, but
No,
no? We
No.
Still need. That's sad. Okay, so then I'm with it. I say.
and I don't think it's.
Plus, I think people don't know about DRE.
No,
Right.
I don't know about DRE. I don't even know.
That's for people with disabilities.
Oh.
SCREE is for the seniors, DRE is the
But I thought if you
disabilities.
had a disability, they had to accommodate you and.
No.
give you
Yes,
enough-
but if you could live, there are people that function, have jobs, live in places. DRE would accommodate them because they still have a disability, but may have a job and pay rent.
Oh, in
So
case they
that
rent
is
stuff.
right, to keep the
Ooh.
rent from going
You write this down.
up.
So then we're gonna keep that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's in agreement? Okay.
I think more than it should be an education portion, not only an education portion, but we, I don't know how, a lot of these, housing, agencies don't take these programs. So I don't know.
Oh,
The vouchers,
they're supposed to though, are they not? Aren't they required by law to do so?
but they're not.
And then sometimes they utilize them in ways that they choose.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know somebody with a screen, but somehow their rent was still going up.
No, that's not
But
nice.
they were taking the benefit, but not applying it to the resident.
Oh, no, that's theft.
So it should be some kind of oversight.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make some notes and then I wanna do some research on the iPads, cause that's just unacceptable.
How you gonna take the
No,
iPads
they
back?
got, they got a lot of stuff. They got them take free though. I don't even wanna. Don't get me
First off,
started.
If they had them more than 2 years, they're not worth anything anyway, so why take them back?
Petty,
It is.
so I'm moving on.
I just wanted to charge.
Is that the last one?
Yeah,
Okay, so that was the sixth one. I think we kept everything.
no, this last one is 17E.
Oh,
Oh,
This-
y'all.
The one I have
Oh,
highlighted.
now there's the seniors piece. Provide funding for seniors, returning veterans and their families.
But that's so broad.
Yeah, I thought,
Oh, affordable.
oh, look, more information is needed from the community board.
So provide funding.
you already answered your own question. Oops, there.
What, didn't we have vouchers? Didn't they provide vouchers? Weren't we specific? Or no?
Education on the programs that they have.
No, this is providing
is
actual funding for seniors, returning veterans and their, Family.
Affordable, but this is affordable housing program request, but it's not, it's.
And can I ask this question? Are we talking about people that live in rent stabilized housing? Are we talking about people that live in nitrogen developments? Like, how are you looking at this? Because they may tell you, somewhat like they did with the ERAP program, that the people that live in nitrogen developments are already subsidized and therefore don't. be
That's why they,
subsidized.
that's why they.
I thought we had said to provide vouchers.
Are you, sorry, are you revising?
I think if it said provide vouchers
Yeah. because
and
that's not
focus on
making-
seniors. I think providing vouchers would be,
Yeah, 'cause
You wanna
that's not
keep the
making-
keyword funding, right? So
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
Funding is always
Funding,
important.
leave that word in there.
Let's
like,
keep
put
the
vouchers
fun in
after,
funding.
Like, yeah,
funding for additional vouchers, like.
so revise, provide funding
like the
for,
Seniors housing got kicked to the curb after after they built that second. We were supposed to have more than just those two buildings over by Metropolitan Hospital, right?
It was, yeah, because they did, Draper Hall was one, and then what was the one, of course, adjacent to second half.
Because that was, but the Smile was, I thought was supposed to be more seniors, and it's not that many seniors. The Smile building on 126.
Mhm.
I thought it was supposed to be
Awesome.
all seniors. It's not.
Just like,
So,
trying to say to the community board saying.
I
one
just
thing,
put
and that's
additional
another.
vouchers.
Yes, but,
can we keep that? Yeah.
Maybe they reduced the age of seniors and now they're counting people 45 and up
well, it
as
depends.
seniors.
But when you're-
That's
when when you're disability, it becomes the same.
That's true,
That's still part of
disabled, is
the-
kind of like part of seniors.
Correct, it goes.
They would go in there.
But this is problematic because just like with the veterans group, we support groups and we give money to them, we give capital, what do you call it, discretionary money? We gave discretionary money to the veterans groups several years in a row. And then as Devin pointed out, now they're like opening the door to whoever DHS wants, they're not even giving us community preference. We have to keep an eye on these, that's, we
Absolutely.
can keep an eye on these people year after year after year, because they will switch it up. Smile was supposed to be seniors. Senior housing. I mean, I'm not sad, I'm not mad, because I know a lot of people, good people got housing at 126 in, at the Smile building. You know what I'm talking about, it looks like a smile, it's like a, but it does, everybody says the Smile building, when you look at it, it's like, it does look like a smile, but we, people have to stick to their promises when they come to us and tell us how they're gonna use the housing, so I'm gonna leave it there, I think that's our last one, we're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
You just revised it.
We did? Oh, yeah, we did, we're gonna keep the revision.
Okay, so you guys wanna go back and prioritize, or do you want to add?
Yeah, don't we have to
Another
add one more?
Yeah, let's add one first.
Okay, hold on.
I'm just saying, but I don't know how they do it.
Do you know if it's an expense or capital?
Capital.
So you have a capital one you wanted to add?
Well, I was saying upgrading lighting and, I don't know, tap.
Oh,
Because
upgrading
we
lighting.
are- With LED, because, our surrounding developments have, they are part of the MAP program, so they got the funding. That's Johnson and King, and here we are dark in the middle of them, and so we getting the, surrounding riffraff coming into our development, but.
It's dark.
No.
Last year, didn't we advocate, I feel like last year we advocated expanding the MAP program throughout.
Yeah, but they only do that based on the stat of the,
No, but we told them that to expand the project.
yeah, but what I'm saying is only if you ask to expand, it has to be specific, because the way they prerequisites we saw, they have to, the stats come from the police department. And so if we don't have a lot of firemen staff, the MAP program is
that's
not
good.
going into our development.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I forgot about that part. I forgot about that. You're right.
It'd be that y'all can add it where it's, where I think,
I'm sorry, who are we sending to, Nitro?
Nitrogen, yeah,
oh, that's not, oh, okay, that's.
Is that a nitro one?
yes. that's
I'm
nitrogen
asking
lighting.
you all.
Wait, Till is not nitro.
No. You're talking about the new.
No, you're putting nitro where it says Till.
Yeah.
No, I know, I just copied it. I'm gonna delete all of this.
Okay.
Do you understand?
No.
I just pulled the request. I
mean, we
created a
agreed
new,
on Till.
I-
Okay,
okay, I'm at the bottom of the list
all
and
right.
I created a new row.
I don't got it, but go
And
ahead.
I just copied, all of this is leaving. You guys already spoke about Till. See, it's
So
going
why
bye
are
bye.
we deleting
It's
it though?
leaving,
All right.
cause you're done
No,
with Till. You see
I'm
where I
not new
put,
to Excel, but
Yeah.
if y'all are okay with deleting stuff, I'm fine.
No, it's not.
I am not new to Excel.
okay, let me put you at ease.
No, don't put me at ease. We gotta get out of here at some point.
No, I
No,
need
it's 8:04.
transparency. I don't want you to think I took away
It's
Till. Here's Till, line 24. You see the Till? Went nowhere. It's still there.
Do you have your new request?
Yeah, that's, replacement LED lighting in town.
I don't know if we can just single out one development, can we? We did that for Marcus Garvey Park.
We have to be specific with the request language, so we can't just make this up.
Okay.
So it can be specific
Okay,
to,
because that.
to just tap.
I don't
Everyone
know,
else
I
got
mean-
it.
Let me, hold on. You don't have to pull this from your brain.
Does Jefferson have?
So let me
Yes.
pull up this,
Yeah, no, Wagner,
On First Avenue?
Jefferson, yes, Wagner, Jefferson, Johnson and King received that, is under the map.
Additional lighting on First
Yeah.
Avenue. I'm always thinking something
So
on
can
First
you
Avenue.
just say
But
those that weren't awarded under the map program received, like?
Well, that's
so-
a good
What
plan.
happened, like,
Yeah.
and then-
Right, cause there will be to say that, you know, what, that's not, that. that's
yeah,
not-
so we can say the ones that are not part of the map
Correct.
program.
Now that,
Not only just-
right, it's true. But a lot of them are under, once they under the MAC program, they get additional dollars to do different
Yeah,
things,
the jurisdiction.
you know.
Interesting.
You know, as far as crime stats, we don't, some big.
And King Towers is not in our district anymore, right? King Towers is not in our district
You
anymore.
know, they pay in, west side.
So let's try to find. Nigel on this thing, to see if we can figure this out. So this was also shared with you all, where that request language is coming from,
Mhm.
is coming directly. From city planning.
Okay.
Like, so you don't have to rack your brain and try to figure this thing out. This is not you, this is human services, human services, human services, human services. This is you.
We have 7 developers in that right now, you know, 5 or 7. I thought.
They,
I wonder if that would go to,
man, you,
no, what you're specific, because you're asking for more lighting intact.
no, we asking for replacement.
Replacement
Or
lighting.
upgrading. And we're not saying tap because we're saying other.
And then
If that would go to, public safety,
Public safety.
yeah.
Well, if it's public safety because it's on night ground.
I'm just trying to see in my brain if that's his, I mean, here's what has happened before, right? So sometimes committees create budget requests for other committees because they're like, we want you to put this on this thing, right? And push this request forward. I know Parks gave Human Services like 3 budget requests like 2 years ago. Like, so it's been done. Like, we understand that this is the purview of your committee, but please try to push this forward. So you could do that tonight. It's not.
I think I think public safety is where we did have a request to expand that. I'm on public safety, so if you draft it, I'll take it. I'll fight for it.
So how's everything on this is not you guys?
Yeah, but I'm not saying map program, because the map program is already.
Right. So
Non that. Developments.
Expand, this is great, sorry, can you guys see this?
Oh, I see.
Expand loan programs for like multi-zone.
I saw
that's
that,
capital.
that.
Oh, you are trying to do the capital.
That
okay.
does make sense, because public safety, I think we did the lighting because of the crime that was happening, starving. And then we asked for the MAP program to be extended beyond the 7 or 5 or 7. So we
But
wanna,
again, the MAC programs are, is part of the PSA.
yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
nice housing, okay, so according to city planning. Public housing maintenance staff, that's not what you're asking for. Public housing upgrades and renovations, that's what you're asking
Under-
for. Housing support, no, you're asking for this one, public housing upgrades or renovations, right? So renovate or upgrade public housing development, that's not what you're asking for. Install security cameras or make other safety upgrades.
Oh, that one
Yeah,
sounds
that's
good.
That's what you want. Okay, I don't know if I could pull this. Let me see something.
You go, girl. There you go.
Mhm.
You all have access to this document for transparency, okay?
Never heard of it.
It's. The requests are not coming from the staff because we're so intelligent, like it's coming from them.
Give her another cookie. Oh, you don't need to give her another cookie.
So let's see if I could copy and paste this thing.
I like that.
Go back.
I love coming to the meeting so I can see myself on television.
I'm eating on the burger.
Listen, those cookies right there are dangerous.
Oh.
Those are dangerous.
They're very good.
I'm glad that you pushed them forward.
No, you beat them.
No.
This could be capital or expense, so you wanna keep it in capital. See C/E, it could
It is
go,
capital because it's
either
a
way.
line item.
Because of the money, I think,
okay,
Because
your
a lot of-
reasoning,
right.
For a lot of different places.
Right,
That would be
Yeah,
a capital.
But it's not like an ongoing, it's a one-time capital.
right.
but it would be good if they maintained it though. Cause once the
That-
lights go out.
Wow, you know, if they had just done that 20 years ago, we would not be sitting here.
Don't talk about this, and don't say about
Okay.
No,
preventive.
but Judith was,
Please don't talk about preventive
I
maintenance.
know, I know, I know. You're so right, and that's all.
so what's, I was listening, but I was trying to find the language, so I didn't catch the entire
Did you
paragraph.
say install and upgrade lighting, or you said
We said replace,
replace lighting?
or exterior, right, exterior.
So provide funding,
Exterior lighting.
Yeah.
To replace.
To replace. And I guess in parentheses, LED, right?
Okay, it's got cold enough that my hot flashes don't count. You want me to turn it down?
I'm not paying any mind.
Or energy efficiency. But that's a-
What? Stop you distracting me. Funding for exterior lighting. Andrew's distracting me. The provide funding to replace exterior lighting.
Yeah, I think
For non-map. Housing developments.
Yeah.
what's the spelling of the acronym, so they don't give you need more information.
For maps, believe it or not.
Okay, no, man. That's it. Provide funding to replace exterior lighting.
Doesn't know what map is. Everybody get your resume. Some big people.
Okay, well, I guess I won't answer what map is.
Oh, I don't even know what it is, but it's like the mayor's action plan.
Mayor's
right?
action
Yes.
And that's exactly.
And it's,
And it did have something to do with the facilities that had more crime or,
Or
And
you
that's-
can
and then they brought in those programs for the youth. Okay, I do know what map is.
one thing I like, is they hire,
Or
supposedly they hire from within, so they don't bring someone from Queens to Washington Housing.
No,
They have some, I mean, Wagner,
No,
no, they do?
they don't, no, they won't. Of course, you can't.
I thought the Wagner people were from Wagner, and I thought that.
Yeah, they,
Yes.
were, yeah, they were, but not the administration.
I changed this a little
I think
bit.
that's brief better that way, yeah.
So provide funding to replace exterior lighting for housing developments outside of the MAP program. Yes or no?
Or development outside, right, development outside.
Or develop, take out that.
No, no, you got, right.
I can take it out.
can't you leave the,
No, you can.
is it non-map?
No, I'm
housing
gonna, yeah, I'm
development?
gonna delete it. I just didn't know if you guys were in agreement
Yeah.
with what I just said.
I like that one better.
The other one,
Yep,
Will provide funding. to-
outside for developments, the non-map developments, because they know which ones they did on the map. Now we want them to do the ones that are
Maybe-
not mapped.
Maybe a slight revision is provide funding to replace exterior lighting for housing developments not funded.
Right.
Not
Not
funded
funded in the map or.
in the
not
last
funded.
iteration of the map program. Yeah,
Yeah, where they're.
I need another cookie.
No, give her a cookie.
Now water.
Now, though, Tamika, are those little pants? Or- Oh, look out. All right.
Okay.
now this is
Remember bell
redundant.
bottoms?
I get a hat.
It's redundant, right.
Provide, so take this out.
Right.
Replace
Funded
exterior
to
lighting.
replace exterior lighting for housing development.
Not funded.
So maybe,
You could just take the funding out, provide for. Provide for replace exterior.
Yeah.
You got- you
I
got to go back to
think you just have funding in there twice.
Yeah. Let her
You
know.
don't wanna be too redundant.
That's the money, no.
No, because it's
Under map,
Twice as
I'm
nice.
sorry?
not covered under map.
Not covered, yeah.
under.
Oh, okay.
I think that's 23 development.
So I guess this
No, I
was a 45-minute meeting.
Yeah,
for
25.
tomorrow.
I'm just gonna.
It's
just
all
gonna
good.
Fire me, it's 8:15.
We gonna make 2 hours.
John's gonna come back and say, what happened?
I read the thing and it actually said an hour, no more than 2. It says that in the paperwork, it said.
All right, so let's work together. So we're gonna keep this. Everybody likes it?
Yeah, it's new, so it's new this way on line 35.
Okay,
I'm
and
proud
then
of us.
that's it.
And the only thing
Oh, I'm gonna
I'm
delete
was, you wanted to keep that one. I forget
Okay,
what
now,
it's
are we, because nowhere in there saying natural development, it just said housing development.
No, under agency.
it's under Ignite right there,
It's
So-
the request is going to
so
NYCHA.
they'll figure it out, or
Yeah.
maybe they won't.
Devin, what did you?
Sorry, I can't remember which one it was, but remember we were gonna keep it, but then we wanted to actually make a new one where we revised the language and we were gonna add.
It was the one before Till,
Yeah, that
We ended up
was.
doing that, did we
No.
make the new one, the new version?
it was 34 or 30,
Or was it
Let
about,
me filter this, cause now. My eyes
which
are
one was it
closing.
about? It was cause I do remember it was something good, but.
it was the one above the Till
It
thing.
wasn't trees free, right?
No, that was.
No, we're still in capital,
That was a
Develop-
capital, it was a capital one. It was one of the
One,
two.
yes. Yeah.
So one
So-
was Till,
this one. Line 23, tracking code ending in 4C.
that one,
That one,
right there. It
or was
20
it, no, till.
expand the home repair and put, that was the one.
Oh, no, but we kept that one
No,
though.
yeah, I think it was under expense.
I think we kept it.
Oh, was it, okay,
It was
Okay.
something though, I thought you wanted
We just
to,
have
it
to
was in it and
file
you wanted to change, add a, make.
well,
a
you
new
guys
one.
are doing that at the end, but you're speaking about another one in
I
expense?
think
No
so,
problem.
once my memory.
I mean, I know there's stuff I wanna research, but I don't know. If I have
Okay,
it
so,
English.
Alright, so we good.
which one was it?
Well,
That's what
then
happens, you have to
it's
work
not
on it while you're in it, 'cause you
Yeah,
forget.
can you scroll up, because those aren't those are two of them, right? There's more.
I think I have this filtered for housing only, so this is the top of housing.
I think it was that one above the Till.
That
That you
was
were
capital.
talking about. It was
Right,
in
but I
that
didn't have a
capital.
suggestion for how to make.
Oh, it was
this
this one,
one.
it was the line 13, and because a few of them were already funded, so we were gonna take them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
But you
revise
wanted to
this.
keep it to.
I wanted to keep it because I just don't trust the system.
Which is, I thought what we had just agreed that. we
Yeah.
were
Here it's
gonna leave.
revised, so we gotta make sure.
No, that's the staff.
That's
wants
the
us to
staff.
revise.
Oh, okay.
We suggested that, you don't have to take
It's
this,
a
yes.
state.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not nearly enough.
So we can just keep it the way it is, or I think.
cause we're gonna revisit this again.
Devin, what do you have after? So, do I have to make a motion that we all in agreement to keep the 6 items and add one additional item? Can I make a motion?
To capital and.
Sorry, I don't have to rank them, but it's the last. Sorry. I do that.
No, it's okay, I'm just used to the ranking happening as
You
discussion
obviously
is
had
happening.
real food.
You
in
guys
it.
did it the other way.
Last thing I.
Hello, Fresh.
What do we think for till we're keeping this till?
We're keeping it and let's make it high priority.
Okay, cause I did make a suggestion,
Oh,
and I just want y'all to be aware.
I
of
took the
it.
filter off, so give me a minute, cause now I'm looking at everybody's screen.
Oh, yeah.
And sorry, question, do we rank expense and capital separately, or there's one rank?
I think the ranking is either very high or kind of high or not high.
It's not related to shopping.
We don't have to do one.
No, I
two,
did,
three, four,
I
five, six.
turned it, I did,
Oh, okay.
that's, yeah,
It's like
it's,
she put on her-
yeah, the hot flash, my hot flash didn't counter the air conditioner.
Thank you.
But I did do it already, I turned it up to 72.
No, we said turn it
You
down.
want it up,
Yeah, I
so
don't want
turn
it
it
to be
up,
so cold. You're
so
right.
that it,
My
the
word.
temperature goes up.
You're right. I'm apologize.
Down.
So, you guys are ranking now? Oh, Beverly had a comment?
Yeah, I just want everyone know that I did, make suggestions on the till program.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. You wanna speak about it?
At all. Okay, what it was is that. Okay, what the agency response was that more information is needed from the community board before making a funding decision. The community board should contact the agency. In regards to the till buildings, there are 5 buildings that's in the TIL program, that's in East Harlem. 3 of them are going into the ANCP program, and they're trying to hammer out the ANCP program, because one of the things wasn't that they were adding mortgage to this program, which was never part of the original thing. So 2 buildings were, well, clarity, I have known one of the buildings said no to the ANCP program. So I heard that HPD is trying to work out, take it off the mortgage part, but it's not for all the buildings, and they're not changing their term sheet. So it's almost like a pilot program, and we don't have nothing in writing. So, when, discussing this, I was wondering, do we have to be more specific? You know, because I think this is like the second time they gave the same type of response. And right now, like I said, 2 buildings are not going into the ANCP program, because after 20-something years, we shouldn't have no mortgage. And some other rights, it wasn't just the mortgage, it was a lot of other rights that they took from us, as being into this program. So I want to know if it was all right for us to be more specific. So I suggest that the following be, provide 100% construction and relocation funding to those 2 buildings, and I gave specific addresses. I wasn't sure if that was something we were able to request, because like I said, based on the response that we got from last year with TIL, they gave what's the meeting that you have with the chairs go to meet the agencies?
Oh, they're on the borough consultation, but they're in
Yeah.
some is the district.
Right, so
Consultation.
one of the people, documents they sent back to us is that they had that conversation, and they said that, 2 buildings were not doing it. The other, they told us it was 5, and we need more. This community, well, I wasn't sure, maybe, but 5, and 3 of them was going into the ASCP program. But the other 2 weren't, and they made a suggestion that we weren't being cooperative in it, but we was like, no, we have serious questions, we're not just gonna let you know, but that was the reason. So I wanted to know whether or not it to specifically ask for these fundings for those specific 2 buildings who do not want to go in the ANCP program, even though right now the city is, HED, I said ABC, is trying to change the funding for the rehabilitation, and there's no mortgage, but like I said, it's nothing in writing. It's not, they're not changing the term sheet. And they're not, from what I'm heard, is that the buildings that they have picked for this loan mortgage, none of them is in East Hall.
So when it says provide 100% funding to the remaining TIL buildings, you're saying there's only 2 that
For
fall
East
this,
Hall. Yeah,
so all the other TIL for this entire district is all covered, they're all agreed to go into this other program?
right, 3 of them, based on that, documentation was saying that 3 of them went into the ASCP program. 313, Pleasant Avenue, 51, 129th Street, and I think 1268 Park Avenue, that's like in the 90s. Those 3 buildings are part of a cluster. I think, I'm not sure, I think it's called the 313 cluster, there might be a couple of other buildings. But from what I'm hearing is that the program where they're not trying to get rid of adding a mortgage to the program for the tenants, they're taking that part out.
I just wanna make sure we're covering everyone, just like when we were looking at the lighting for.
And HPD should know, right? I mean, I understand they're asking for more information, but they should know which.
Yeah,
one.
exactly,
So
that-
I don't know if we need to specifically add the address, that's just my.
I just don't wanna leave anybody else out, if
Yeah.
there's anybody out there who.
Okay. Don't know what this is. Totally. What is the problem with the mortgage? Like,
The original.
was you promised not to have a mortgage? So your regular rent would have been like, what you were paying would have been like your mortgage payments. over the 25 years of this program. So you shouldn't incur an additional mortgage payment now. Is that what it is?
No, under the original toll program, what happened was that in 1978, HPD and until actually came up, so the internal lease program is the name of the program, came up together like brothers and sisters. The city had took over all of these buildings from landlords who weren't paying property taxes. So they had buco properties that some of them were disrepair, some of them vacant, some occupied. So the city started the toll program where they would train the tenant associations to manage their buildings. And in return, at first they would just fix major systems, but it took so long for them to do that. And then they kept getting a little bit more money, or they did more for the buildings because the buildings at the time deteriorated. The rents were set very low because it was all low income. But after what the city was gonna do is that use capital funds. The program was that they use capital funds to rehabilitate these buildings. And then sell them to the tenant association, the low income cooperative for $250 per year. The tenants get to manage their building, they get to do all the things that quote unquote management company would do because they train the tenants to manage the building. They did,
When is the management company?
yeah, like a regular resident management, we hire people, we make repairs, we collect them, we went to court for people not paying, we learned all of that. So then they stopped funding the program. And not only stopped funding, it took them so long for HPD to do the rehabilitation. They told us when they was bringing this to the people that it would take no more than 3 to 5 years. Some buildings been in more than since 1996 that have not been rehabilitated yet.
But can you tell me, wasn't part of the issue that they wanted to sell off some of these buildings?
What they're doing under the ANCP program is that they partner with private industry, private nonprofit and profit organizations. Yeah, to be the managers of the buildings.
But they don't own them, do they, does HPD own
They're
them?
supposed, no, they sell the building to agency that is part of HPD, HDFC, restore communities or something like that. People that's on that board works for HPD, so they have not found out that wasn't. But that's another issue.
So let me ask you this, is your only change to put the 2 addresses in?
Right, because we work at just community board 11, so I found out how many was in community board 11. I found out that there was only 5 based on what HPD told the community board 11. So 3 of them went and the other 2 did not. I want funding for those 2 buildings because the ANCP program is
Well,
not.
can we say, oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Plummer, can we say to provide 100% construction for these 2 for these 2 addresses, but not only, or like?
But if you said not only, because this is only for community board 11.
I just
I
wonder.
understand, I don't know if other community board, because they're, from last I heard, there's 78 buildings citywide.
But I thought East River had some buildings that were purchased and they.
But probably not under the 2 program. I know there are a lot of programs, or legislative, laws that's coming up where, they're asking, it's called TOPA or COPA, where a tenant option to purchase program. That some officials are looking for, or COPA, which is community option to purchase, where they have nonprofit organizations come in and purchase these buildings like that. The other buildings that they do have in East Harlem, that was part of the TILPO program, did transfer over to the community land trust.
Okay. So.
Those couple of buildings have been done already. And I think they've got some more buildings they have to finish, but I believe they finished at least 2 of their buildings, one on 110th Street and one on 120th Street, and Third Avenue.
Well, let's do this, because
So
I
if you wanna take the addresses out, or say just the remaining two Till buildings.
No, I just want to
Oh,
put
okay.
the addresses and say including but not limited to in case any, because I remember having constituents in East River with till issues and Schaumburg with till issues, and I don't know what happened. But if we could give your addresses and then just say but not limited to, just in case.
Schaumburg would still, wait,
Yeah, that,
Way back when before they became Heritage,
okay, I was gonna say,
before they became, I mean, I don't call it Heritage, I call it
It's
Schaumburg anyway,
Schaumburg.
but, before that, I remember Cordell and I were down there, trying to extend the leases. And I think we were able to get some extensions, but you know, that's all in the past, but I'm just saying that I would hate to just limit it, but.
But can I just ask, is the intent of what we're trying to say still the remaining Till buildings? So should
Yeah,
we
but
just
she
not,
really wants to make sure that they do these two. So
They
that's why I
need
said
to
do
do
these,
that.
we just say the remaining Till buildings including.
But not limited to.
these-
Yeah.
And what we should
Okay.
do, I think, moving forward is speak with HPD about what specific information they need. It's very possible they still.
I'm
give us
sorry,
information.
you guys have to repeat yourself, I'm starting to fade, so.
So including.
I'm being honest, so. What do you exactly do you want me to say?
100% construction and relocation funding to blah, 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 because that street and that street.
Right,
Okay, no. To include, provide 100% construction and relocation funding to include.
to include right here,
Uh-huh.
this and this,
So we're gonna start with the remaining Till,
Well, that's in the reason.
this will be the new reason, I think, right?
so,
I
Devin,
have
what are you
another
trying to say?
question.
Wait a minute, we're not, oh, you're saying we're totally rewriting the reason now? I thought we were just adding a caveat.
This is Beverly's suggestion,
So,
Oh,
Beverly, you
I
saying
see.
change the whole thing or just add that on?
okay, so the reason, what Molly, you're doing is changing the reason?
no, I'm not doing it.
No, no, no.
It's what,
for us-
it's,
for us.
I'm pulling from your language, so I
Right.
just pulled your thing, I'm sitting inside your comment right now.
But that will go inside, that will be the new reason?
And you don't, you don't want that, that's
Oh,
what
we
you're
copy
saying?
102 East 98 and 2 East and put it in the little square where it says reason.
Okay.
That's me on that.
Where
So we still
where
have the
do you want it
AMI.
here? So here,
In,
behind AMI?
It's supposed to be
Yes.
from low income. But from up to.
Yeah, it's right there, and we'll see how it reads.
Under that AMCP program, they going from
including that, but not limited.
over to 150.
I don't think HPD is like,
Up
I think
to,
they're still gonna.
not, I know, but, no, but
they don't wanna own up to
it
what
was
they
always,
promised.
it was,
That's why they have it.
always, because
They don't want
the way the AMI has it is low income is at 80%, even though we don't make that in this community.
So let's pause on the 80%. You have one more
Yeah,
question?
Yeah, I
That's why I was.
wanna understand something that was in the reason. That said to turn renters into shareholders, but shareholders are not owners.
Wait,
Shareholders
everybody
is.
pause, everybody pause, because we got 4 different screens. It's 8:30, what we wanna do is.
Hurry up.
8:30, no, I don't remember it, I just want us to give Marlene closure on this reason, so. My
Yeah.
suggestion was to add the 2 addresses to the little square.
Yes,
To the, right,
And I don't,
including but not limited to.
right,
but
Okay.
I just wanna understand, under reason, this will ensure that these renters become shareholders.
Right.
So that's not an owner when you become a shareholder. That's a co-op.
Right,
That's different. So then your new thing you were saying, you were talking about a mortgage. So I don't
There's
understand.
a lot of different things, that's why.
Yeah,
A lot of-
Right.
because once you do shareholders in here, that's a cooperative.
Right,
You have benefits, you can
Right.
write off certain things. Being an owner, that's why I didn't understand. You should be paying a mortgage,
so you're saying.
even if you got to keep.
Let me-
It's gonna give you a low mortgage,
okay, so
something little, but
This program-
nonetheless, not just give it to.
Okay, this program was not for. I'll call you back, I'll call you back.
So,
This program was for low income cooperative.
Yes,
That's the
I get that,
Okay,
that's what the
okay,
reason
right.
is right now.
That's for low income cooperative, and it is shared. The mortgage portion came in under them changing and trying to take the Till buildings and transfer them over to the ANC.
Okay, so now my understanding is you don't want, you guys, the two buildings, you don't wanna own your apartment. You wanna stick with the shareholder agreement.
Right, the
Okay,
cooperative.
so then I have no more questions. Now I understand.
Right. But under the ANCP program, even though they're doing the mortgage, because they want now the tenants to pay for the rehabilitation of the building, that was never part of the program. So under the ANCP program, even though they are doing a mortgage, those tenants are actually shareholders in a cooperative.
Okay,
Okay.
so what I wanted to do, let's do this, because we're talking about two buildings, we have 140,000 people who are counting on us, so we made that change to those two buildings, but also keeping it open
Correct.
for anybody who's in the cracks, right? So let's move on from there,
Okay.
and let's see if, unless, I'm gonna.
Okay, I'm,
have a motion?
Beverly, hold on. I'm going to, are you comfortable with me taking this out? This what I'm
wait a
highlighting?
minute, where's the two addresses? Those-
Right here. Okay, I'm gonna scroll over so you see. They're right here. It's under
Okay.
committee notes revisions, if any. So Beverly, are you comfortable with me taking this out? What I'm highlighting right now?
And you're still keeping the 80% from the original reason and yeah.
Yeah, so I just moved the original reason. I moved it over to committee revisions, and I added the revision with the building, so that's what you guys agreed on. To put including but not limited to
I can't.
the buildings.
By 100%.
It's in front of you. You have it open?
No,
Oh, okay.
So I wanna make a motion because this does look like what we want, and like I said, we are concerned about these two buildings, but I also want us to. Move forward,
we got, and not, but not limited to it.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, include, right, so I'm gonna take this out.
Yes.
Okay,
can I make a motion yet or no?
you guys chose not to prioritize, so now you have to go back and do it. I'm not
Can
being
we say
facetious.
they're all high
I'm being-
priority? Let's say they're all high priority, because I don't wanna say one person's building or one person's this, or one person's needs are anymore, so I would say they're all high priority.
Mhm.
And what I was trying to do, so they won't have this reason that we need more information.
Well, we should just go ahead and meet with the new commissioner. Man, carry on. I used to work for him. I mean, no, we gotta go to the top now.
I
We
think
can't
we
be
have
playing
to
around.
pay attention to what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah,
I mean, because a lot of what's happening is the gentrification.
Sorry. You're also doing high for expense as well?
Yeah,
What?
everything is a high priority. Work with me.
Okay, I thought you said we had to come up with
no,
expenses.
everything is a high priority, because housing is our number
We're
one.
losing ground here and we really have to pay attention.
I was gonna put that in new business. I was gonna put that in new business.
So so because these are all gonna be high priority, I would like to make a motion that the committee is keeping our 8 items with one additional capital.
Okay,
Okay, so
I second that motion.
so the motion was that the committee,
Well, you're chairing, did you call for a motion?
Yeah,
oh, I'm sorry, I made the motion.
You're chairing, yes. She's-
so I'll make the motion that we maintain the 6 and 2 items, which make 8, as we have discussed.
But in addition,
To the amendment given up by Beverly McFarland. Yes, that's good? Okay,
I second.
Can I take a vote? Since we're in person, all in favor? Any opposed? Abstentions? The motion passes. All business?
I'm touching your
You're fine.
computer.
Be my fingerprint.
She was like, yes, let me go to the next
Okay,
thing.
any old business? Okay, let's move to new business. Ms. McFarland made an excellent point about gentrification, which I think we need to add to our agenda. I wanted to add the migrant housing crisis to our agenda, and I wanted to add Timbale. Because
Yes.
people are coming up to me like I'm on land use, I'm not on land use, I'm on housing. So I wanted to add those three things going forward. We have to research them. And Ms. Math, you have something else to add?
Yeah, the 421A, even though it expired, we need to try to urge our elected officials to make sure we give people affordable co-ops and condos.
What's the 421A?
That was the affordable tax abatement where, for the 25 years, the maintenance with the real estate taxes is kind of like waived. So now what happening is everybody's getting the real estate taxes tackled on. And you know, in our community, we always tax high when it comes to our buildings because we're misclassified. So now mortgages that used to be 600, 900 is doubling to 1,800 all the way up to 2,500. And the majority of our seniors is the ones that are getting hit with this now because they came 25 years ago and now they're like 65 and 70.
What was the fourth thing? I'm sorry. Also, if you call Judith Ferraro, she'll keep you a good 2 hours. She'll give you the whole lowdown. But what I have for the, for new business, which we're not gonna discuss now, but we're gonna, work on, building out a discussion for 421A, gentrification, the migrant crisis, which, oh, and Timbale, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna just put those together and run it, by our chair and type it up.
So do we look at what's happening in the NYCHA developments up here? And how we can that be added?
Well, I propose having
agenda?
a meeting just on that.
Right.
Is that what you said?
Earlier on, I said, we
Oh,
want to
okay.
have a meeting, Yeah, we want to have-
And trust.
Red Pack the Trust.
so that, I did catch that. So we're gonna look at those in a forthcoming meeting, maybe next time we'll talk more about the migrant housing crisis and the things that people come to us on the streets asking about, because we're on the housing committee, and, so I have those four things.
That's a question. Do we regularly or ever invite, and I forget the proper term of the role, but, resident, leaders for the various houses?
You got them all
That's
here.
one right
Yeah.
here.
But not going.
No, I just, what we do, but I think the best thing to do is to start going to their meetings. I
Yes,
think if you go to one or two meetings, start with Ms. McFarland, then you're gonna see what the issues are and the way some developments, people are treated by management office. You'll see,
yes.
and you will be proud.
Mm-hmm.
How do we find,
And then-
get into a provision?
Beverly Hills Park.
Actually, speak to, the
CCOP.
CCOP is, and Johnson.
Oh, yeah, for,
All of
for North.
the Market North.
FFOS.
Oh, that's right.
She's over Manhattan.
I would give you her number, but she doesn't pick up my phone. Just left mine in her.
Right across the street.
No, she's busy, but, okay, so I'm gonna,
Would be best way to get, if we can get in contact with her.
yeah, I hope she's in good health.
And also to invite resident leaders to this
Yeah.
meeting, because it's very important to hear what a lot of us resident leaders are going to different, like we going out to Albany and we fighting legislation, just like if it wasn't for us resident leaders going out to Albany with the new trust, that 20%
Of the voters?
vote. They had 5%, they initial act was 5%.
And that number should still be higher than that.
56%.
Yeah,
And then they negotiated to 20, but still 20% of your development is gonna say vote yes for privatizing. That's
No,
ridiculous.
yeah,
That's absolutely.
it's like a
Plus, I
vote by.
think
So like in
they're
my
not-
development, I have 1,700 apartments, so you mean 170 people could say, yes, I wanna go private. And and the way they're introducing it as the Section 8 program is not Section 8, it is in-house Section 8, which is attached to the apartment. They will never own that.
They won't
It's
have a
hard to say.
Section 8.
They will, and guess what?
They don't know
They
that.
lose all the.
Rights.
Their rights and so we are fighting in Albany about, and we're trying, and
How
matter
do
of fact,
people?
the Tamika and I have been advocating for this for years to try to, we actually found in the HUD 964 regulation that NYCHA should not have went into any agreement because they have to act specifically. So we have to really look into how, and this is go back to legal things like this,
Yeah.
that they
We
should.
have a lawyer. Is Jason Wu a lawyer?
Yes, he is,
Well, Jason, Wu, I'm gonna find him here too.
It's not enough.
and he's on this committee.
Yeah, we have a lawyer. We gotta get him back in the.
So we go,
And
we
we
go
have a
to.
lot of smart people who live in Nice.
Absolutely.
So,
I've been
And
here.
they act
And I-
like they're
and I've
fine,
been
and
here
that's the
60
thing that
years.
is so disheartening.
Oh,
that's true. That's true.
Are you ever be, interested in owning?
Well.
Okay, wait, pause, pause. So we're on the record, and we have some
Oh,
people
let's finish.
on the
Is there
record.
people here?
Oh, no, it's just two. We had some more people. So what I'm gonna say is, I love this speaking, but we can continue to speak all night,
Right,
or actually maybe down the street.
right.
But right now, we're gonna do a roll call
Yes.
And
of
go
our
home?
official business. Well, you guys could chat down the street. Marlene is ready to go to help you roll
I
the gate
agree.
down. So we're gonna do a roll call,
Are we driving
before we
today?
lose quorum.
Okay.
We driving today?
And then we can keep talking on crime and all that other stuff. All right, everybody's ready?
Yeah, I'm not here.
I'm just gonna start calling it.
Yeah.
Devin Croncho,
Present.
Angela Donaville.
Yeah.
John Green is excused. Annie Hanson is excused.
I think I'm here.
Sharon Lynch, Beverly McFarland,
Present.
Beverly Pavone,
President.
Claudia Perez is excused. Cynthia Ramos. Dawn Sanders.
Present.
Hilda Vivas Vasquez is absent. And Jason Rule. Absent.
Okay,
Thank you.
with that, thank you so much, Marlene. I am gonna move to adjourn this meeting for now. All in favor or? All right. Thank you so much, everybody. So keep talking, talk amongst yourselves.
I have to lock up, so.
Yeah.
Outside.
As you walk.
No disrespect.
Thank you very much.
Marlene, I don't know how you.
Love you, Marlon.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I made it to the meeting.
You did,
Something.
but you're sleepy. You said.
I am tired. No,
No.
and I work near, I passed 3 Trader Joe's to get to work every day.
I'm gonna put
And I am definitely going in.
You gotta, the chocolate chip ones are not as good.
No.
Cranberries.
Okay. Can I go?
That one is good, don't play yourself, yeah, make sure you
Yeah.
get a handful.
No, I can't, my knee is.
Like a regular sunshine.
No, it's good. You know, I have to say, I'm like, this is like, too much. Cause I was everywhere, you know that.
Yeah, I know,
I was everywhere.
I know.
And